Welcome to the 8th episode of the Chirpin podcast. Do you Cardinal fans think that MARMOL needs to be fired? That's something I'm going to go over today, as well as Lance Lynn's retirement and go over some of the games that happened over the week. Let's get started. So, the first thing I want to talk about is Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn, on April 1st, announced his retirement from Major League Baseball on his wife's podcast, Diamond in the Rough. And if you guys didn't know, his wife had a podcast. It's spelled Dymin and then in the rough. He played 13 seasons in the major leagues, where he was a two-time All-Star, and he won a World Series with the Cardinals in 2011. And that was also his rookie season. Let's go over some final stats and the stats with the Cardinals. In his 13 years, he had a 3.74 ERA in 364 games played. He had 143 wins and 99 losses, which was good for a 591 win-loss percentage, which was actually pretty good. He had just over 2,000 innings pitched. In total, he gave up 834 earned runs, 231 of those being home runs. He just got over 2,000 strikeouts, meaning he had a strikeout per 9 and 9. His whip for his career was a 1.2, and his FIP was a 3.82. It was a solid career. He played better in 24 with the Cardinals than he did in 22 or 23 with the White Sox and Dodgers. His final season with the Cardinals, he had a 108 ERA plus with a 431 FIP and a 1.3 WHIP. His strikeouts per nine was a 8.4, and he brought down those home runs that year. He went from having a 2.2 home run per nine to a 1.2, an entire home run less per nine. As for his career with St. Louis, he had a career ERA 3.43, 1,095 innings, where he struck out 1,028. He had a 3.71 FIP, a 1.29 WHIP, and his ERA plus while he was with the Cardinals was a 113. Very solid and very consistent with his overall career numbers. His win-loss ratio was 608 as a Cardinal with 79 wins and 51 losses. And he had a baseball reference WAR of 15.2 with the Cardinals and 30 for his entire career. So Lance Lynn, I wish him the best. I'm glad he played it for the Cardinals as many years as he did. He was a good pitcher, very solid, reliable pitcher. I admit I hated him at first in 2013 and 2012. But in 2014 and 2015, he settled in and was a very good pitcher for the Cardinals. And then in 2017, he was decent. And then when he came back, obviously in 24, was not overwhelmingly positive, but he wasn't bad either. Lance Lynn, enjoy your retirement. Be glad you got away from these Cardinals. That's all I can say. So what we got next is kind of what I touched base on already. Asking if you guys think we should fire Ali Marmol. Marmol made some questionable decisions these past few games, mostly in the beginning of the week and some in the ending. The first one I want to talk about was bringing Hells into ninth tied. I know that's a popular thing these managers like to do. It just doesn't work. Save your guy for whenever you got the lead. I know you're trying to limit the damage going into the 10th, the bottom or the bottom of the ninth, so it doesn't get to extras. But once you use them, you don't got them. And it came back to bite us in that game. The very next day, we see Donnie not take that base. He could have actually won the game if he had attempted it. because the ball was high. And I get hindsight is 2020, but in that position, you got to be aggressive. You could win that game, force a mistake. I don't understand what they were thinking holding him. I mean, I understand Trout has a cannon, but at the same time, you go for it. You got a chance to win the game. The game was tied, so it's not like you lose the game on that play. And you know going into the next inning that they're probably going to score because of the ghost runner. Send Donnie and see what happens. Trout made a mistake because he felt rushed when Donnie took off. And Donnie probably would have squeezed in there safe if he had ran. Again, hindsight's 2020. You don't know that going in. He could have thrown a dart. But when it's a game on the line, you start forcing the opposition to make mistakes. And that's what needs to happen. Wednesday, it was the third day in a row. We had a MARMOL mistake. And I'm just highlighting the big ones. There's individual little ones that he's making that I'm not talking about, but the big ones that really cost us. And the big one here that everyone was defending him for, mainly other podcasters and insiders, that Sonny Gray should have been left in. The man gave up 3 bases right at the start of the inning. 1, 2, 3. Bases loaded. It was the first time a pitcher had gotten to the seventh this season. He goes out there and keeps him in. When he gave up not one, not two, when he gave up the third base, he should have been pulling him. Luckily, the Cardinals were able to edge that one out, but barely. The one mistake people are hounding him for that I will defend him on is keeping Helsley in that doubleheader on Sunday. He's your all-star. He's one of the best, if not the best closer in the game. Of course you put him in there and you keep him in. You have to trust your guys that are your number ones. And Hells fell flat. That one's on Hells. It is what it is. In my personal opinion, because I asked Cardinal fans if we should fire Marmol. In my personal opinion, the only way we ship Marmol this season is if Pujols is ready to step in and manage. Other than that, let Heimblum make his decision when Mo's gone. Ride it out with Ali. Because I'm not putting too much stock in this season anyway, especially with how they played this week. Speaking about that, I'm going to get into the game logs here and go through inning by inning. Give me some feedback on if you guys like the inning by inning breakdowns. I utilize the game logs to go through each inning to make sure I don't miss anything. Because a lot of these games that I am going through happened a week ago. So getting a memory by reading it, I can therefore talk about what's going on in those games that I want to talk about. So give me some feedback on that with the inning by inning breakdowns. If you guys like them, that's cool. If you don't, I can kind of mix it up, make them shorter. Anyway, let's get into the first game. Monday's start was by Miles Michaelis, which is a big topic later in this video. But for now, let's talk about his start. Miles Michaelis pitched 5 innings in that game, where he gave up 2 hits and allowed 2 runs. He got 3 strikeouts, but he did walk 2. However, the 2 earned runs in 5 innings is what we want to look at. It's not bad. It's a quality start. It was good in terms of achieving the Cardinals' needs to win that game. Unfortunately, they didn't, and we'll get into why. Monday's game starts out great. It's like, okay, are they going to go 4-0? Bottom of the first, we get a Nootbaar homer after Michaelis gets the Angels out in the top of the first. Nootbaar hits the home run, and Baker hits a single before we get out. Top of the second is a 1-2-3 inning for Michaelis, so at this point he's sailing. And the bottom of the second leads off with a Brendan Donovan home run. So right at the beginning of the game, we're looking 2-0. We're coming off the sweep of the Twins. Vibes are great. Victor Scott gets a double, but Newbar strikes out, and it ends the bottom of the second. Top of the third inning, the Angels start making a dent. They get a sac fly and make it 2-1. Cardinals come up and go down with just a single by Baker again. Top of the fourth, Michaelis sails through, gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the fourth, the Cardinals. Bottom of the fourth, the Cardinals get out in a 1-2-3 inning as well. Top of the fifth, again, easy sailing, 1-2-3 inning for Michaelis. Bottom of the fifth, Cardinals start making their starter work. Baker and Newbar both draw walks, which at this point, Baker's on base for the third time. And then Arenado comes through with a single, making it 3-1. Top of the sixth, Michaelis gets the first batter out, but the next two walk and then a single, which boots him out of the game. So at that point, he did very good. He did his job. Nothing to really complain about Michaelis' start. Roycroft comes in, gives up a sac fly, which makes it 3-2. Cardinals still in the lead, but Roycroft ends up striking out Soler. That ends the inning. Bottom of the sixth inning, Reed Detmers replaced Tyler Anderson, who makes quick work of the Cardinals. He allows a single and a walk, but other than that, gets two strikeouts. Top of the seventh, this is another minor MARMOL problem people had, was his defensive substitutions, bringing out Pages for Ivan Herrera in the top of the seventh with a 1-run lead. And then Fernandez comes in for Roycroft, who Fernandez has been having not a great season. And we'll get into that. But this is where he kind of first showcases that. First two batters, he gets out, but then he walks Rengifo. He then allows a triple that ties the game before he gets the final out. So now it's a tied game, 3-3, going into the bottom of the seventh. Newbar gets another walk, and the Angels decide to pull Detmers. And to be honest, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but Ryan Zephyrhan replaced him and gets a Nato to pop out. Matan comes in and strikes out the side. Bottom of the eighth, McDaniels comes in and gets into a little bit of trouble with a walker, and Scott was a single, but gets Wynn to ground into a force out. Top of the ninth inning, Helsley replaced Matan, in which we already talked about was a poor judgment call on Marmol. He does a job and gets out of the inning, but unfortunately the Cardinals can't make anything of it in the bottom of the ninth, and the game goes into extras. Top of the 10th inning, Jojo Romero replaces Ryan Helsley, and we get that ghost runner on second base. Angels end up driving in that run, and they get a second run, making it 5-3. Cardinals attempt to come back, but unfortunately, they can't do it. They scrape together one run, but makes it 5-4, and that was the final. Our top performers in the game were Newbar and Michaelis. Newbar had a home run, 2 walks, an RBI, and 2 runs scored, and already went over Michaelis. It was an unfortunate loss, one that the Cardinals shouldn't have lost, and poor managing decisions definitely helped create that loss. It wasn't the sole reason. I'm not blaming it all on Marmol, but it was a poor decision. Moving on to Tuesday's game, we got Libby with his new starting experiment. In the first, he's looking pretty good. Top of the first inning, 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the first, the Cardinals get a single from Newbar, but get out. Top of the second, another 1-2-3 inning for Libby. He's looking sharp at this point. Bottom of the second, the Cardinals give him some run support. Walker singles in Gorman after he hits a double and makes it 1-0. Top of the third, he gets the first two batters out, but then he gets into trouble. Gives up 2 singles and then double that ties it. And then Trout hits a double that cleared the bases. Brought in 2 runs, made it 3-1. Bottom of the third, Cardinals go down 1-2-3. Top of the fourth, Libby returns to having some solid pitches. Gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the fourth, Gorman flies out, but Walker hits a homer to straightaway center. You gotta like what you're seeing from Walker so far this season. He's one guy I'm rooting for. I've been rooting for him since 2021. Top of the fifth inning, another good 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the fifth, Cardinals get a Burleson single, but then Donovan grounds into a double play. Ends the inning. Top of the sixth, we got a single from Rengifo, but he gets caught stealing. So basically a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the sixth, Cardinals stay quiet. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the seventh, Leahy replaced Libertor, who got a 1-2-3 inning from the Angels. And the bottom of the seventh, Ian Anderson replaced Kyle Hendricks, finally. I mean, we all know how Hendricks just kills the Cardinals, and he did it again. But it wasn't much better with Ian Henderson. 2 strikeouts and a ground out, brings the Angels back up in the eighth, who go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the eighth inning, the Cardinals start to get cooking. Joyce replaces Anderson, and Nootbaar immediately hits a single. We get 2 ground outs before Arenado reaches on a throwing error that brings in a run and ties up the game 3-3. Gorman unfortunately grounds out, and we can't make anything of it. Top of the ninth, Helsley comes in to replace Leahy. Another poor mistake by MARMOL. He gets a 1-2-3 inning, but that's it for Helsley. He's done for the game. Bottom of the ninth, Jansen replaced Joyce, who got a 1-2-3 inning from the Cardinals. And just like clockwork, top of the 10th inning, Fernandez comes back, and Soler is a ghost runner at second. Yoan Moncada walks, and then he gives up a triple. That makes it 5-3. Then Joe Adell hits a single that makes it 6-3. At this point, I count the Cardinals out. I gave up on them, but they had some fight, and they decided to try to come back, and they did. They came back 6-6 from a Baker double and an Arenado single. But the Cardinals have 3 more batters come up after Arenado ties it up, and they all go down. We can't get that run to win. Top of the 11th inning, we have some defensive substitutions like Wilson Contreras replacing Ciani, and then Herrera remaining in the game as catcher. And then Roycroft came in for Fernandez. Roycroft ends up giving up 3 runs, making it a 9-6 LA lead. Cardinals attempt to come back in the bottom of the 11th, with Victor Scott getting a single, making it 9-7. But they can't make anything of it after, and the game's over, 9-7. Cardinals lose 2 straight, and the series against the Angels. Top performers, obviously Libertor, who had 6 innings pitched with 3 runs. Literally the definition of a quality start. Walker went 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBI and a run scored with a stolen base. And I'll give Hendricks a nod. He killed the Cardinals again. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Let's get to Wednesday's game. Wednesday's game was a little bit more fun. I'll save Gray's outing because we got to talk about that in a little bit. All right. Sonny gets it started with a home run. No, I'm just kidding. He does get the first 2 batters out and then gives up the home run to Mike Trout. Makes it 1-0. Bottom first, Cardinals are quiet, 1-2-3. Top of the second, Gray's masterclass, or so we thought, starts with a 1-2-3. Bottom of the second, we got a walk from Arenado and a walk from Herrera. Then Donnie's immediately called out on strikes. Walker grounds out. Scott extends the inning with a walk, but Wynn strikes out. Top of the third, 3 up, 3 down. Gray's looking good. Bottom of the third, Lars Nootbaar. Who else? I mean, he's just been hitting the hell out of the ball. Nootbaar hits a single, but Contreras grounds into a double play and Baker walks, but Nato flies out, which ends it. Top of the fourth, same old, same old. Angels come up, and then they go down. Gray at this point is just dealing. His velocity is looking back to normal on his fastball. Bottom of fourth, Herrera hits the first home run of the game and of the season. Ties the game up 1-1. Top of the fifth inning, the Angels lead off with a double. So we're thinking a little bit of trouble for Gray at this point. But nope, he gets the next 3 out. Bottom of fifth, Cardinals go down quiet, 1-2-3. Top of the sixth, same story for the Angels, 1-2-3. Bottom of the sixth, the Cardinals start to break it open. They get a single from Nato, and then Herrera 2-run home run. Second of the game, second of the season. Top of the seventh is where it all falls apart for Gray. Jorge Soler hits a single. Yoan Moncada hits a single, and then Schnall gets hit by a pitch, loads the bases up. Marmol comes out. He talks to Gray. Gray, I assume, says, I can do it, I can get it. And Marmol walks back to the dugout. I understand at that point he had like 76 pitches, but it doesn't matter. He's in trouble. It's the seventh inning. You got guys for this role. Take them out. That's all you got to do. Take them out. Well, instead, Marmol leaves him in, and he gives up a grand slam. Makes it 5-3. Game feels like it's over. Bottom of the seventh, the Cardinals come back though and tie it up 5-5 on a Wilson Contreras double after Mason Wynn hits a single. Both of them actually in this game got their very first hit of the season. Burleson comes in to hit for Baker, who grounds out, and nothing much really makes it the rest of the inning for the Cardinals. Top of the eighth, Leahy comes in for Phil Maton. He faces three batters. He gives up one walk, but he gets the first two out. They bring in Jojo Romero to replace him, who gets Schnall out. Bottom of the eighth, Angels get into trouble. Walker hits a single, Scott gets a single, Wynn gets a single, and then Contreras walks, Burleson walks. Both of those score a run, so now it's 7-5. Arenado hits a single, which makes it 9-5. And at this point, the Cardinals are just pouring it on, and so is Herrera. Third home run of the day, third home run of the season, first catcher to do it, first catcher to do it in Cardinals history. 3 home runs in one game makes this game 12-5. Top of the ninth, it's a 1-2-3 inning, and the Cardinals win this one 12-5, which ends up being the only win of the week. 1 win in 6 games. Slightly depressing. Wow, this is going to be the longest episode I've had. So we got Friday's game. Not before I sum up Gray's game, though. So Gray's final slash line, 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts. It could have looked like 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, but he was left in. What can I say? He was left in. And let me go through the top performers. So Herrera, obviously, with 3 home runs, a walk, 6 RBI, and 3 runs scored. You also had Arenado, who had 2 walks, 2 RBI, and 2 runs scored as well. Friday's game. Fetty starts, and he has a horrible start. 3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Top of the first, Cardinals go 1-2-3. Bottom of the first, against Jarren Duran, he hits a single, and then he steals second base. And Bregman gets a double and drives him in after a Devers walk. Casas pops out, but Trevor Story hits a home run, makes it 4-0. And then Abreu hits a home run, makes it 5-0. Cardinals quiet in the second. Same with Boston in the bottom of the second. Cardinals get on board with a Newbar single after a Scott walk and a Wynn single. Contreras grounds into a double play, and Donovan lines out to end the inning. Bottom of the third, get the first 2 outs, but then gives up a walk, and Campbell then steals. Then Boston adds to their lead, making it 6-1 with a Narvaez single. Top of the fourth, Arenado hits a double, Burleson gets a single, and then Ivan Herrera hits another home run. 3-run home run, his 4th of the season, making it 4-6. Boston in the lead. Bottom of the fourth, Matz comes in for Fetty, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Top of the fifth, we get a home run from Donovan, who makes it 5-6. Bottom of the fifth, Cardinals get into more trouble again. Matz walks Bregman. Casas gets a double. And then Abreu gets a single that makes it 7-5. And then after a fan interfered call, Boston makes it 8-5. Top of the 6th inning, Waitsert replaces Bueller. Burleson hits a single. Herrera ends up grounding into a double play. Jordan Walker reaches and steals second base. Bottom of the 6th inning, after the Cardinals can't make anything of that, we get 2 outs, give up 2 singles, and then get a ground out. Top of the 7th, Zach Kelly comes in for Waysert, who allows a Newbar double, and then Brendan Donovan singles to make it an 8-6 ball game. Bottom of the 7th, a questionable move by Marmol that I didn't talk about, bringing Fernandez in again after he's been struggling. He of course struggles again, gives up 2 singles, a walk, and then gives up a run, which makes it 9-6. John King then comes in for Fernandez, who gives up a single, makes it 10-6. Then another single makes it 11-6 before he gets Bregman striking out. Cardinals go down 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts. Bottom of the 8th, it's just a run fest over there in Boston. Get a double, then a single, and then a double play, scores a run, makes it 12-6. Christian Campbell walks. Roycroft comes in, gives up a double, makes it 13-6 before they get out of the inning. Cardinals are able to scrape up another a run by a Contreras single, making it 13-7. Then Donovan gets a run for himself, makes it 13-8. And then Arenado reaches on a fielder's choice, makes it 13-9. They brought Baker in to hit for Burleson. He drew a walk. But then Herrera grounds into a double play, unfortunately. That ends the game. The final being 13-9. Top performers from the Cardinal side: Donovan, 3 for 5, home run, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. Sunday, we had a doubleheader go through the first game. Palante was the starter, and he pitched a solid game. He had pitched 4.1 innings, where he gave up 2 runs, 3 balls, but 6 strikeouts. Top of the first, Dupar draws a walk, but Herrera grounds into a double play, and Contreras strikes out. Bottom of the first, Boston comes up. They're pretty much quiet besides a Bregman walk. Top of the second, Cardinals kind of get it going with a Baker single and a Walker single, but Sajasi, who got a roster spot for Gorman getting hurt, strikes out. Victor Scott draws a walk, but Wynn strikes out as well. Bottom of the second, Palante gets in a little bit of trouble, but he works himself out of it. 2 singles and a walk, but then gets the next 3 out. Top of the third, Cardinals attempt to get something going with Herrera walking and Arenado hitting a single, but Baker ends the inning with a pop out. Bottom of the third, Pages comes in for Herrera, who limps off the field with a bad knee injury. Well, we thought it was going to be bad. Turns out it's not, and he's only going to be on the 10-day IL. Bottom of the third is a 1-2-3 inning for Palante. Top of the fourth, there's finally a run scored. Walker hits a single, and same thing with Scott. With 2 men on, Wynn comes through, gets a single, drives in a run, makes it 1-0. Bottom of the fourth, Boston answers back, makes it 1-1, and they were running on the Cardinals a lot. They had 2 steals in this 1 inning. Top of the fifth, Cardinals come up quiet after Contreras hit by pitch. Bottom of the fifth, Endeavors gets his first home run of the season, makes it 2-1. That's when they pulled Palante out of the game and Leahy came in, and he gets Bregman and Casas to strike out. Justin Wilson comes in for Waysert, and he immediately gets into trouble. Paez hits a groundable double and ties the game 2-2. After Sajasi hits a single, and same thing with Wynn. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the sixth, bottom of the sixth, and then top of the seventh, Slatton came in for Wilson and gets the Cardinals 1-2-3. Bottom of the seventh inning, Jojo Romero comes in, who immediately gives up 2 singles. Gonzalez gets caught stealing. He gets a strikeout, and Paez picks off Wong at first. Paez gets another double in the top of the 8th inning. That makes it 4-2. And in the bottom of the 8th, the Cardinals get Boston to go 1-2-3. After the first out, Romero was pulled and Matan was put in. Top of the 9th inning, the Cardinals are pretty much quiet. They get a walk, but Donnie hits a single, and Jordan Walker walks, but Brennan Donovan gets out. Bottom of the 9th, Ciani stays in as a center fielder, and Ryan Helsley comes in. Helsley, unfortunately, ends up giving up this game. Gonzalez hits a double, making it 4-3, and Devers gets walked, making it 4-4. He walks in that run. Cardinals come up and go down in the 10th inning because of Chapman. And then in the 10th, Abreu hits a single, walking it off. Boston winning that game 5-4. The final game, we got to talk about Michaelis. Michaelis' slash line for this game was 2.2 innings pitched, 11 hits, 8 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. My question is, why is he on this team still? It doesn't make sense. Any other team would have released him by now. Because at this point, the money is not only wasted and gone, it's hurting you. It's like the money's on fire and you're just putting it in your pocket. If we had McGravy start this game, I guarantee you they don't even score half of the runs. Maybe not even the third. But instead, we got Michaelis and his horrible contract. They need to do something about it. Whether they need to release him, DFA him, just get rid of him somehow. Because Cardinal fans are tired of seeing it. Top of the first gets started good for the Cardinals. Contreras gets a double, and Donovan hits a double. Makes it 1-0. Bottom of the first, Boston immediately answers back. Michaelis gets the first batter strikeout. But after that, he gives up 3 singles in a row. Lets Boston tie the game 1-1. He gets the next 2 out. That leads to the top of the second, where the Cardinals are quiet. 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the second, Gonzalez hits a single. Narvaez hits a double. Rafaela hits a single. That makes it 2-1. He gets 1 out, but then walks Devers. And Bregman hits a double. That scores 2 and makes it 4-1. Then Abreu hits a double. That makes it 6-1. And then he gets the next 2 out. Top of the third inning, when lines out, Newbar hits a single. Contreras hits a single. Donovan hits a single, but the Cardinals can't do anything about it. Arenado grounds out, and that's it. Bottom of the third, he gets the first 2 batters out, but then gives up a single and then another single, which scores the run because Rafaela stole second. I mean, they're just running on Herrera. They don't care. And Paez. Devers gets a single, and that was it for Michaelis. He leaves the game. Boston up 7-1, but he still inherits more runs. Graceffo comes in, immediately gives up a Bregman home run, which makes it 10-1 Boston in the third inning. Burleson hits a double, and Walker walks. And then Wynn hits a single that makes it 10-2. Bottom of the fourth, Boston's relatively quiet, besides a Campbell single. Top of the fifth, Contreras gets hit by a pitch, and Arenado hits a single. The Cardinals can't make anything of it. Bottom of the fifth, get the first out, but then a fielding error by Alec Burleson allows Jarren Duran to get the second. Then Devers hits a double, making it 11-2. Bernardino comes in for Dobbins, who gets a 1-2-3 inning against the Cardinals. So JC replaces Arenado, and Ciani replaces Scott. Trevor Story hits a double. Campbell grounds out. Gonzalez grounds out. Narvaez doubles. That makes it 12-2. And then Graceffo throws a wild pitch. Narvaez goes to third. Rafaela walks, and then Duran hits a single, making it 13-2. Devers hits a double, making it 15-2. Then Alex Bregman doubles, making it 16-2. King finally comes in for Graceffo, who gets Abreu to ground out. Top of the seventh inning, Cooper Criswell replaces Brennan Bernardino. Newbar gets on base because of a fielding error, but Contreras gets out. Brendan Donovan walks, but the next 2 batters get out. Bottom of the seventh, got a David Hamilton ground out, a Campbell walk, a Gonzalez single, a Narvaez walk, and then a passed ball by Paez allows Campbell to score, makes it 17-3. And then Sedan Rafaela singles, making it 18-3. Raycroft comes in and replaces John King, who gets the next 2 outs. Top of the eighth, Cardinals go down relatively quiet, 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the eighth, same thing with Boston, 1-2-3 inning. And top of the ninth, Cardinals like to try to come back, but obviously they couldn't. Such a massive deficit. Top of the ninth, Mason Wynn hits a single. Newbar flies out. Lucan Baker comes in to hit for Contreras, and he reached on a fielder's choice. Donovan hits a double, making it 18-4. And then Sajazi hits a 3-run home run, making it 18-7. That was it. Cardinals lose 18-7. Just an overall shit show. And I mean, that's pretty much been the story. The Cardinals' offense have been one of the best, and the pitching has been one of the worst. In terms of hitting, the Cardinals have a 19% strikeout rate, which is third in the majors. Their offensive WAR is second in the majors at 3.4. Their WRC plus is second in the majors at 143. Their WOBA is second in the majors at 375. They had the best slash line with a 301, 380, and a 482 slugging, which is the only one that they're not leading the league in. Their BIP's a 315, sorry, a 347. Their walk rate is a little bit over 10%. Meanwhile, go to pitching. We go to ERA. The Cardinals are dead last at a 6.01 ERA. I mean, that's horrible, obviously. If we look at FIP, the Cardinals are 14th with a 4.0 FIP. Their left on base percentage is dead last in the majors at 52.9%. Their BABIP is 301 against them, which is 20th in the majors. So right now it's a bottom half pitching rotation. And I mean just overall the entire staff is just below average. Cardinals are going to have to pitch better if they want to do anything this season. And that's pretty much the story of it. You guys let me know what you think. Should MARMOL get fired? Let me know in the comment section or on Twitter. Other than that, this wraps up the very long episode, longest episode I've ever done. But tune in next week for another Cardinals podcast. Until then, peace out.